Hi all. So today I will start Selenium and I would recommend you before moving into Selenium you must know Java. If you don't know, I already have added all the Java topics in the playlist. If you want, you can go and watch all the Java videos. And once your Java is completed, then you can move into Selenium. So let's understand what is Selenium. So basically, Selenium is a tool which is used to automating web application. So by using Selenium, you can automate any of the web browser. Web browser means whatever the application you can launch in any browser, right? That means web browser, web-based application, right? So means it is a tool which is used to automating web-based application, right? And Selenium supports multiple browsers, programming language, and platforms, right? So browsers, it supports Chrome browser, Firefox browser, Edge browser, Safari browser, IE browser, Opera browser, right? But currently IE browser has been decommissioned, but in the previous version, if you want to automate, then you can automate, right? So it supports multiple browsers and multiple programming language. Multiple programming language like we have Java, JavaScript, Ruby, Python, and C Sharp, right? So it supports these many programming languages. And platform means it supports Windows, all Windows, Mac operating system, and Linux, right? So that is why I have written here it supports multiple browsers, programming language, and platforms, right? I have written here all the browsers, programming languages, and platforms, right? So this is Selenium. Now we will understand what all types are there. Different types of Selenium, right? So there are total 4 types of Selenium: Selenium WebDriver, Selenium ID, Selenium RC, and Selenium Grid, right? Selenium WebDriver is the latest one, right? So currently people are using only Selenium WebDriver, right? Most of the people using Selenium WebDriver. So we are working on Selenium WebDriver only, right? So what is the Selenium WebDriver? Mostly interviewer ask what is the Selenium WebDriver. Then you should be aware about this Selenium WebDriver. So Selenium WebDriver is an interface which is used to automate web applications using browser's native method, right? I will explain you while writing a script. So currently we are using Selenium WebDriver. Selenium version, we have different version. Currently latest version we have 4.10. I will explain you in tomorrow's session, right? And what is a Selenium ID? So Selenium IDE, it is a Firefox plugin that works on recording and playback. So basically this Selenium ID it is a plugin which is used to record and playback, right? Now we will move into the third type, that is Selenium RC. So what is Selenium RC? Selenium RC means Selenium Remote Control. Selenium Remote Control is officially deprecated by Selenium. It means currently it is not being used. It has been decommissioned, right? So it is used to work on JavaScript to automate the web application. So this Selenium RC, in the Selenium RC, we can use only JavaScript, right? So it is used to work on JavaScript to automate the web application. But currently it has been deprecated. Means currently people are not using Selenium RC. It is decommissioned by Selenium only. Now we will move into the fourth one, that is Selenium Grid, and it is most important. Most of the interviewer ask what is Selenium Grid and how we can run our test cases parallelly, right? So we have Selenium Grid and it allows Selenium test to run in parallel across multiple machines, right? So by using Selenium Grid, we can execute our test cases on multiple machines, multiple browsers, right? So this is very useful, right? So if you have 100 test cases and you want to test on multiple machine, you want to divide your test cases into two to three or four parts, then you can run on multiple machine parallelly, right? So this Selenium Grid is very important. Mostly interviewer ask about this, right? So these are the four types of Selenium, but we are going to use this one, Selenium WebDriver, right? So Selenium WebDriver is very important. You must know this Selenium WebDriver, right? Now we will see the advantages of Selenium. What all advantages are there? So advantages, first advantage is Selenium is open source and free to use without any license cost. It is a open source. You just need to download the jar files and you can use this Selenium, right? I will show you. So there is no any licensing cost. You don't need to pay anything for this Selenium tool, right? It is a open source. You can use it in your personal laptop, right? And second advantage is it supports multiple languages like Java, JavaScript, Ruby, Python, and C Sharp, right? 90% people are using Java for this Selenium, but if you know JavaScript, then you can use JavaScript, Ruby, Python, C Sharp, right? So these many languages are there. You can use any of the language to automate the application by using Selenium, right? So Selenium supports these many languages, and Selenium supports multi-browser testing like Chrome, Firefox, Edge, Safari, IE, and Opera. So you can say cross-browser testing can be happen by using this Selenium tool, right? So what is the cross-browser testing? Means testing your application on different browser. That is called cross-browser testing. So cross-browser testing is also possible in Selenium, right? The fourth one is it has good amount of resources and helping community over the internet, right? So if you are facing any kind of issue in Selenium, then you can search on Google, you will get it all the answer, right? Because large number of resources are using this Selenium, right? So you won't get any difficulty. If you are facing any kind of issue, then you will search it on Google and you will get it the answer, right? Since it is a open source. And the fifth one is using Selenium ID component, non-programmers can also write automation script, right? Actually, Selenium ID is a plugin of Firefox, right? It supports only Firefox, right? It doesn't support any other browser, but it is used to record and playback. Means you can record the script and you can play, right? If you don't know the programming language, then without programming language, you can do the automation by using Selenium ID. And the last one is using Selenium Grid component, distributed testing can be carried out on remote machine possibly, right? Now we will see the limitations of Selenium. So we have many limitations in Selenium. So as we cannot test desktop based application using Selenium. So we have, if you have any desktop based application, then you cannot test by using Selenium. Like means it doesn't support desktop based application. It supports only browser based application, right? And second limitation we have, we cannot test web services using Selenium, right? By using Selenium, you cannot test web services. And third limitation we have, uh, for creating robust script in Selenium WebDriver, programming knowledge is required, right? If you are going to write a large number of script, then you must know the programming language. Without programming language, you cannot create any framework. You cannot write a script, right, in Selenium WebDriver. So you must know the any one programming language, right? And the last limitation we have to rely on external libraries and tools for performing tasks like logging. So for logging, as you know, for checking a logger, we will have to use log4j, and log4j is an external tool, right, which is used for the logging. And testing framework like testng, junit, so these are the external tool, right, to validate the test cases. So we use testng, junit, right, to validate our test cases. So these are the testing framework which we will have to use, which is not added in Selenium. These are the extra tool, right? And for reading and writing any data in Excel sheet, we will have to use third party tool, that is Apache POI, for Excel sheet, right? So for reading and writing data from Excel sheet, you will have to use Apache POI. This is also a third party tool, right? So these are the limitations in Selenium. First one is it will not support any desktop based application. Second, it doesn't support web services. And third one is for Selenium WebDriver, you must know that any one programming language. And fourth one is for framework, you will have to use testng, junit. For logging, you will have to use log4j. And for reading and writing data from Excel sheet, you will have to use third party tool, that is Apache POI, right? So these are the dependencies, right? Selenium is dependent on these extra tool, right? So this is all for today. This is an introduction session. And in the next session, we will understand how to do the setup of Selenium, right? And what all jar files we needed, what all plugins we needed, right? So in the next session, we will see the setup of Selenium tool. So I hope you understood. Thank you, guys.